Hello everyone, and welcome to my Grove Guide video. In this video I will be going over the build that I use when I play Grove and the thought process that I go through while I play it. I've had lots of success with this build in ranked play, and I hope after this video you guys have some success with it as well. First off, I would like to say that I'm not going to talk about when to buy workers much throughout the guide. I will mention it here and there. That's mostly just because it's dependent on the game, depending on what your opponent is sending you, what the economy situation is like for the game, so that's something you're just going to have to feel out for yourself. With that out of the way, let's start. So you want to begin by building a honey flower. Put it 3 blocks from the left wall and 6 blocks up, just like this, and buy 2 workers. So you should be starting the game with 4 workers and a honey flower in this location. This will hold a snail on 1 if you happen to get that. But the main thing that you need to focus on for this wave is getting your 5th worker on time. Now, for wave 2, you want to build 2 buzzes on either side of the honey flower, just like this. And for this video, I'm going to assume that I got sent a dragon turtle. It's a very common thing that I get sent on to. Now, the main thing to think about during this wave is you need to send at least 40 Mythium worth of mercenaries before the end of the wave. So you need to send at least 2 snails, or a lizard, or a dragon turtle. This is because you need 12 gold by the time you get to the wave 3 building phase. So yeah, you need to send at least 40 Mythium worth of mercenaries. Now, assuming you got sent a dragon turtle, like I just showed here, it will actually allow you to buy a brute or a fiend before income most of the time. So it's not actually that bad of an outcome. So assuming you did everything correctly there, you should be able to get a wild shroom on wave 3. And you should put it parallel to the honey flower, just right there. This will allow you to hold a 60 send on wave 3. You can also sometimes hold an 80 send there. It depends if they're income sending or not, but you will leak a hermit on 3 still. So for wave 4, you want to build a consort behind the washroom, just like this. This will allow you to hold a 80 send on 4 relatively easily. But again, that usually doesn't happen to me in most games. I'll usually get sent on wave 5. That's Grove's weakest wave because of the honey flower start. So now, for wave 5, to have the highest chance of holding it, you want to build a ranger here, which is 1.5 blocks down to the left of the consort, and then 3 buzzes. So 1 there, there, and there. That's 2 buzzes over here. First one's parallel to the honey flower on the right wall. Oops, my bad. So 3 buzzes total, 1 here, here, and here. This will allow you to hold an 80 send every time and a 100 send about 80% of the time. So I'll just show you what a hermit looks like getting sent here. A hermit is the most common send against this. Now, this would be the time where I push workers. Depending on how your game's gone, I would usually buy 2 here. But again, it really depends. Just aim to have these units by wave 5. Okay, now this is where the build can go in one of two directions. The first one I'll talk about is if you got sent on wave 5, like I just showed you, you would actually not buy anything here and save your gold in order to get a banana bunk on 7. Now, the other outcome is you did not get sent on 5, so you're probably expecting a send on 6. So if that's the case, you want to build a wild shroom behind the honey flower, and you want to build 3 more buzzes, right here, here, and here. So in this view, it looks like this: wild shroom behind the honey flower, buzz here, here, and here. Now this will hold a 140 send on wave 6, and it will sometimes hold a 160 send depending on what you get. But we're not going to go over that for this video. In this video, I'm assuming I got sent on 5, which is the most common thing that will happen when you use this build. So if I got sent on 5, I wouldn't build anything here, and then I will just show you guys that even if you do not build, it can still hold a 40 send on 6, and sometimes a 60 send, depending on your luck. But it should always hold a 40 send on 6. And really, you just need to focus on getting the gold for the bunk, right? So to calculate that, you would just mouse over this wave info up here, add the gold reward to your income and how much gold you have left, and then just make sure that you'll have 280 gold by wave 7. So assuming you did your math right, you should be able to get a banana bunk here, put it directly in front of the honey flower, just like this. This will allow you to hold up to a 200 send on 7. I'll just send this for this video. Now, for the other outcome, saying you didn't get sent on 5 and you just got sent on 6, for wave 7 you actually would not build anything. You would save your gold through this wave and get a banana bunk on 8. That's the main difference between the two outcomes. Either way, you're still getting a bunk, just depending on when your opponent sends or when you think your opponent's going to send. You either get the banana bunk on 7 or you get the banana bunk on 8. Either way, you should have a banana bunk on wave 8. And this actually does not need anything added to it to hold. This will hold a 160 send on 8 without adding anything. Now, if for some reason you expect to get a larger than 160 send, you can add a couple rangers, just like this. But for this video, we're not expecting that, so we'll just hold with this. As you can see, this wave is very easy to hold with banana bunk. So for wave 9, you want to aim to get an antler right there, and then 3 more buzzes added to this, just like that. So you buy the antler there, and you buy 3 more buzzes here, here, and here. This will hold up to a 200 send on 9. Well, it'll safely hold the 200 send. It can hold a little bit more than that, if you're lucky. Now, the next wave coming up is relatively straightforward. Wave 10. All you want to do here is build 4 more Rangers, just like this. So you'll have 5 total. This will hold up to a 240 send here pretty easily. Now, one thing to keep in mind for Wave 10 is more Rangers is better than 1 Daphne and less Rangers. So you want to try to get as many Rangers as you can. You might not be able to get all 5, but just buy as many as you can. Any excess gold should be spent on buzzes to go into the split. Now, Wave 11, there's 2 main things that you would do here. For the most part, in the majority of my games, I get sent on Wave 10. So I would normally buy 2 Daphnes here, or just 1, depending on how much gold you have and how the game's been going. Most players at my level don't send on 11 into a banana bunk because Lone and Dark Ritual make that a bad play most of the time. But if for some reason you did not get sent on Wave 10, you can buy the Banana Haven using either like Savior, Dark Ritual, Lone, or just selling some of these buzzes if you just need a little bit more money. But if you have a Haven on 11, you'll hold pretty much any send. But for this video, I'm assuming I'm not getting sent on 11 because it doesn't happen often. This build is just really good on 11. So I get 2 Daphnes here. Now, for these next couple waves, Wave 11, 12, well, Wave 11 and 12, you're actually just building for Wave 13. Because Wave 13 is this build and Grove's weakest wave in general. So you're really just setting up for that. The Daphnes really help on Wave 13. So on Wave 12, all you want to do is get a white main. This will hold a safety mole and a pack leader if you happen to get one here. Again, white main is more so building towards Wave 13, but it also helps the bunk, giving it that extra defense boost. So if they do send here, it's still a good unit. It's also a very good tank for your Daphnes to get more damage out, because it takes a long time to die. So like I said before, Wave 13 is going to be your toughest wave. A lot of the time you're going to leak this, depending on how the game's gone, but if you're aiming to hold, the best way to do it is buy 3 Rangers, just like this. Upgrade this one to a Daphne, so you have 3 Daphnes in a line like that, with 3 Rangers in a line above it. And then you upgrade this Wild Shroom to a Canopy. And then this is very important, you need to put a Buzz right here on the split. So it's a block higher than the Banana Bunk. This will pull the 4 Eyes to the right side, giving your stronger units more time to kill the wave before the 4 Eyes gets to them. So this will hold up to a 300 send on 13. If you're expecting more than that, you can upgrade more of the Daphnes, you can add more buzzes to the split, stuff like that. Now, as you can see, the 4 Eyes should hit the Wild Shroom or Canopy next. Oh, we actually got unlucky here. Normally the 4 Eyes hits the Canopy, that's why it's there. But sometimes there's a little bit of RNG involved. This works as well, it's fine. It would matter if you got a larger send, though. So that's how you hold 13. Now from this point on, I'm going to stay over value and give you examples of what the build might look like if you were expecting a send on each of the waves. I'm not saying you would get a send on each of the waves, but just what the build should look like if you were expecting a send. So for wave 14, you would want to get 2 more canopies, just like this. 1 canopy behind the honeyflower, and then 1 up there. This will hold just most stuff you could get here. It'll hold a 4 eyes too, because you still have the split. It'll hold auras. You'd just be fine here. As you can see, it's a pretty easy hold. Daphnes and Rangers just are very good units. The main DPS of this build. So wave 15 is the other really bad wave for this build. It's mostly, so the worst waves for this build are wave 5, 13, and 15. That's what I would say. All the other waves are manageable. So for 15, you also want to aim to be overvalued, just like wave 13. And it would look something like this. You want to get this one to a Daphne. Want 1 more Daphne here. And death cap there. And then sell the buzz behind the white mane. And replace it with another death cap. Now, death caps are not the best unit you can buy for 15. A better unit is probably more canopies and more Daphnes, but the problem with doing that is it makes you too weak on waves 16, 17, and 18. So it's better to aim to be overvalue with the death caps, because the death caps aren't the worst unit you could buy on this wave. They can still kill all the smaller units in the boss wave, which is a large part of the damage. If you're going to leak this wave, you usually only leak the boss. So it's not too bad. But yeah, this is the best way to hold it, in my opinion. It makes it really good on waves 16, 17, and 18. And it's pretty good on 15 still. So we'll just test this against a shaman. One thing I almost forgot, you actually want to sell this buzz. So the buzz that you added on 13... to take the 4 eyes, you want to get rid of that on wave 15. The reason for that is you now have death caps, and you want the majority of the wave to come towards this side, so that the death caps can get more AoE damage out. So yeah. The split will still take a few units, and that's alright, because that helps the banana bunk not die instantly, and also helps the death caps not die instantly. It's fine. It's still good to divert a little bit of damage. Again, Daphnes and Rangers doing the majority of the damage. And that's how you hold 15. Now, for wave 16, if you're expecting a send, the best thing you can do is just add more death caps. I would just add 1 more. That's already quite a bit. This will hold a very large send. Like you could get like a safety mole, a leader, and a 4 eyes. This would still be fine. For waves 16, 17, and 18, if you're expecting sends, you usually just add more death caps. Death caps are Grove's best late game unit, despite being nerfed so many times. They're still a very, very good unit. That and Havens. but I'll show you that in a second. My build mostly runs off death caps in the late game. Death caps and Daphnes. So it very easily holds. You might not even need the extra death cap, but if you're expecting a big send, like I was saying, you would want the other death cap. Now wave 17 is actually this build's best wave. You can just get a Haven here, which puts you like right on value, and you can hold a huge send here. Like you can hold Shaman, Safety Mole, something like this. You can probably hold more, but for the purpose of this video, I don't want the waves to go on too long. You can hold quite a bit here. I forget if I said in my guide how much. Let me check. Double check. No, I don't say exactly. But wave 17 is very easy for this build. The death caps are actually good units for this wave, despite dealing magic damage, and the Haven just obliterates the wave. As you can see, like, that was a pretty small send and just very easily held. I think you can take a 4 eyes and still hold that. So for wave 18, what you want to do is just build more death caps. Death caps are always the answer for waves 16, 17, and 18. So if you're expecting a send here, I would buy 3 more death caps to have a total of 6. And you can hold a relatively large send here. So again, just add death cap here, here, and here. Total of 6. Okay. Now, for 19, all you need to do is sell these 2 buzzes here. Sell them. Replace this one with an antler, and then in front of the antler, put another Haven. If you don't have enough money to do this, prioritize the Haven first. You can go without the antler, but the antler will help you hold more. It gives the Daphnes and Rangers more time to deal damage. Again, you can hold a pretty large send with this. We'll just do a Shaman. Banana Havens are very good on this wave. If you have excess money past that, you can build more Daphnes and Rangers. As you can see, it holds the wave very easily. You can hold 19 against a Shaman and a bunch of like dinos, DTs, snails, just anything. Okay, for wave 20, most games don't get this far, but I'll give you an example of what you would want to hold wave 20. And it would look something like this. So, you want to build a Ranger here, here, and here. And then 3 more Rangers back here. Then upgrade this Ranger to a Daphne. And all of the Rangers back here, upgrade them into Daphnes. So you should have a total of 9 Daphnes and 5 Rangers. Then sell this Buzz. Replace it with a Canopy. Build a Canopy here and here. Canopies are actually very strong on 20 for stalling. And then upgrade this into a white main. And add a bunch of buzzes. Now if you can't buy all of these, just make sure that the buzzes go higher up on the right side so that the boss goes this way. So this is what it would look like if you were going to wave 20 and trying to hold. This is assuming you get sent a shaman, which you almost always will. And that's why you had to be so high over value. Now, there are more efficient ways to hold 20, right? But this is assuming you've been using my build the whole game, and you need the death caps to hold 16, 17, and 18. Obviously, it would be better if you didn't have the death caps, but you're going to have them by now. They're just your best unit on 16, 17, and 18. You can't go without them. It does make you weaker on 20, but this will hold... That's not the command I want. This will hold a shaman send on 20. It will hold a little bit extra as well. Like if they send shaman with some dragon turtles or a dino, it'll hold that as well. It depends how lucky you get, right? There's a lot of RNG involved on the boss's targeting. And there you go. That would be how you hold wave 20. So that's the end of my Grove Guide build video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave some comments in the comment section on how I can improve my videos. I mean, this is the first guide video I've made. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing some of you trying out my build on ranked. This does hold 21 pretty easily. If you wanted to add something for 21, you would most likely just add more death caps, more Daphnes, stuff like that. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you later.